Back at you in another YouTube video, it's your boy Ryan G. Today we're gonna react to 10 worst WWE Smackdown main events. Let's get right into the video. Alright, we have an advertisement to start off. I think the last video that we did was called Worst Raw Main Events.
For the longest time, viewed Smackdown has had its fair share of stinkers since it launched back in 1999, including when it comes to the most important match of the night. Bad booking, bad action, or just all-around bad vibes make these 10 show closers matches to skip over from Team Blue. I'm Adam Pachisi from Cultaholic Wrestling, and these are the 10 worst Smackdown main events. Join us. But first, just want to say a big cheers to Saley for sponsoring this video. About trying to flirt with go Matthews versus enjoy the video. Number 10, Booker T and Josh Matthews versus JBL and Orlando Jordan.
JBL and Orlando Jordan, this is the time like around, I think Orlando Jordan was like US champ or something, I don't know, early 2000s.
WWE decided to revive Tough Enough. Booker T was gearing up to challenge JBL for the WWE title. On the November 4th, 2004 edition of Smackdown, Tough Enough Season 1 runner-up Josh Matthews, who had been used as a backstage interviewer, host, and Velocity commentator, made his in-ring WWE debut after being slapped by JBL for apparently insulting the champ's hanger-on, Orlando Jordan. A blockbuster tag team main event saw Matthews team with Booker to take on JBL and
I don't even think I've seen this match.
in a match that was about as compelling as you would expect it to be. Matthews had a bit of experience this whole presentation said main events. After taking a bit of a pasting, Josh was able to tag Booker, who cleaned house and pinned Orlando following a scissor kick. On a show where the likes of Eddie Guerrero and The Undertaker didn't even have a match, putting this on last felt like a joke. Number 9, Big Show and Brock Lesnar versus the APA. The October 31st, 2002 edition of Smackdown had Edge versus Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle, and Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio as a main event.
Does those sound like some bad matches? I don't know. But maybe this match that he's about to talk about with tag match is bad with the APA. Let's see.
Later, the show featured about 13 minutes of actual wrestling, series match in a couple of weeks' time. To call this tag match sluggish would be an insult to slugs, who would probably do a little more than the punches, kicks, clubs, and shoulder blocks that made up the bulk of this lame and heatless contest. This is, however, one of the times when you can use the old expression, hey, at least it was short, as the whole thing was over in about 3 minutes when Brock hits Farouk with a chair. Really, the main event was just a pretext for the post-match angle, where the heels destroy Farouk's leg with a chair in order to take him out of the Survivor Series match so that he can be replaced by John Cena. Number 8, The Rock versus Kevin Nash. Just a few days after stealing WrestleMania 18 with Hulk Hogan in an Icon versus Icon Dream match, The Rock was put against the Hulkster's now former New World Order stablemate Kevin Nash. On paper, the Great One versus Big Sexy should have...
So this was the time when Kevin Nash? Nah, because I think he got put in NWO a long time ago. Not early 2000s. Maybe I'm wrong. Nah. 1990s.
However, the match was a big, not at all sexy dud, consisting mainly of Nash wearing down Rock with punches, forearms, and other big deliberate clubbing blows, while Scott Hall did some cheating from ringside and Rock attempted brief comebacks. The match ground to a halt when Nash slapped on a bear hug before the People's Champion made his comeback and hit the People's Elbow. That was the cue for Hall, who put in as much work as anyone with 2 big bumps over the top rope to run in for the DQ.
Rest in peace, Razor Ramon, man. Legend. Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. I think I've heard of this match before. I think I've heard of it being bad. I'm not sure. Probably seen it before. And I think this was on Smackdown. '09. This was like Vladimir Kozlov around the time when he beat um Undertaker, right? And I think he beat him clean or he beat him. Okay, somehow he beat him. And Vladimir Kozlov, he wasn't even a bad wrestler. He was underrated. They just didn't push him or do anything much with him. They had him team with Santino Marella later on. You know, he was with Ezekiel Jackson in ECW and stuff, but yeah.
Vladimir Kozlov and the Great Khali to something good. Yeah, about that. The odds were stacked against Hunter in more ways than one when they met in a triple threat elimination chamber qualifying match on the January 30th, 2009 episode of Smackdown. They kept things simple and kept the Punjabi playboy out of the way as much as possible, but this was far from thrilling at the best of times, and it looked like amateur hour out there whenever Khali and Kozlov had to interact, which thankfully wasn't that much. They didn't botch a whole lot or anything like that, since the sequences were so basic they were practically...
Well, I did hear that, you know, the Great Khali isn't really much of a great wrestler. I mean, he was World Heavyweight Champion, but let's not talk about that, you know. He wasn't that bad, but he isn't that good either. Let's continue the video.
Edition of Smackdown rolled around, it was clear that John Cena was ready to break out and become the guy. Cena had a WrestleMania date booked with WWE champion JBL, but he was still in possession of the United States title belts heading into the showcase of the Immortals. They had to get that ugly spinning thing off him to make room for another ugly spinning thing, and so Cena was booked against the cabinet's chief of staff, Orlando Jordan. To be fair to WWE, if I have to, this is a singles match for a title with a major star involved, and it goes a decent amount of time. If only the people in the match weren't John Cena and Orlando Jordan. The match was clunky, stuffed with rest holds, and ended when OJ beat Cena after run-ins and a shot with a title belt.
Wow. Okay, so this is when what is it? Orlando Jordan. I used to have the action figure back then. Is it Orlando Jordan or something like that? Yo, okay, so this, like I said, he had, you know, he was U.S. champ when he was with JBL, so he had beaten John Cena for the U.S. title. Okay.
Never to return. That's right, the Great Khali became the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. After Edge was forced to vacate the belt due to injury, Khali won a Battle Royal to become the new champ. The Punjabi was immediately programmed with Batista and Kane. Khali and Kane met in the non-title main event of the August 17th episode of the show, which was a rematch of their woeful WrestleMania 23 clash. The Big Red Machine went...
I've seen that match. That WrestleMania match between them two. I know I've seen that because I have that WrestleMania on DVD. Let's continue.
to move for the two of them before Khali put his opponent and the sorry match out of it.
Did he just put him in the vice grip and just... Wow.
WWE's main prizes. Jinder Mahal's WWE title reign was, to put it mildly, not a hit with fans who believed that he was being pushed based on his look and WWE's desire to appeal to the Indian market rather than talent or merits. And hey, say what you want about the modern-day Maharaja, but the man could in fact have a decent match with the right opponents. John Cena was evidently not the right opponent for him, as the two trudged through a middling non-title match on the go-home Smackdown before SummerSlam 2017, with Cena looking to have the win sewn up following a Super AA when Baron Corbin ran in for the DQ. Oh, but the banter had only just begun, as Baron realized that he would be a fool not to cash in the Money in the Bank.
He was trying to cash in. This was when he was Money in the Bank. Two-on-one handicap match? Is this what that match is?
On the January 6, 2005 edition of Smackdown, the Dead Man was paired with the Dead Wood once again, as he took on Heidenreich and his manager Paul Heyman in a handicap match with the caveat.
Hey, what is Paul Heyman gonna do? Let me stop. I'm just playing.
Offense was concerned. They did some rudimentary wrestling in the opening exchanges. Heidenreich took over with his trusty chin lock, Taker rallied with his usual, and then the Druids came out with two caskets, freaking Heidenreich out and leaving Heyman to fall victim to the tombstone and get shoved into a casket for the win. Number 2, Sean O'Haire versus Mr. America. You got former WCW mid-card standout Sean O'Haire being managed by Roddy Piper, taking on Hulk Hogan in a mask, being accompanied by a one-legged superfan in a match where if O'Haire...
Oh, that was Going, right? Isn't that Going? That's the dude that Brock Lesnar pushed down them steps, I think, right, for the storyline.
Mr. America was rapidly deteriorating at this point. It was just so pedestrian and utterly predictable, with the Hulkster sleepwalking through the thing before hitting his usual comeback and seemingly having the victory in his grasp following the big leg drop. Hot Rod broke it up, however, after which Vince McMahon came out and had Gowen arrested, which resulted in a preoccupied Hogan losing via countout, a win that did O'Haire no favors whatsoever. Number 1, Kofi Kingston versus Brock Lesnar.
Let's not talk about this match. I watched this live on TV. Shocked. 5-second match. Let's see what he says.
In the main event of the October 4th, 2019 edition of Smackdown. A rare televised outing for Lesnar, who was there because this was the Blue Brand's debut on Fox and thus being treated as a major deal. Not many would have put money on Kingston walking away with his title, but the manner in which he lost it still rankles to this day. Kofi jumped at Brock right after the opening bell, got caught, dropped with a single F5 and pinned, sending him right back to the mid-card in 7 measly seconds. That's right, after half a year of defending his title with pride.
Which New Day member out of the two had a better title reign, Big E or Kofi? Alright, that was 10 worst WWE Smackdown main events. Tell me what you guys will see next in the comments down below. I got more videos coming. Stay tuned, subscribe, like, comment, and yeah, Uriah out.